How's it going, everybody? Johnny Styles here from the Wellness Observer Live. It is June 15th, 2022, and we are at the very, very beginning of none other, the Puerto Rico Pro. Finally, the show has come to my island one more time, Puerto Rico, the island of enchantment, La Isla del Encanto. There you go, Spanglish on the Wellness Observer Live. We got a lot of news for you, but starting with the Puerto Rico Pro. But I'm not going to start the Puerto Rico Pro. You guys have been a part of the Wellness Observer Live since it's basically the beginning, and you continue to do so. So thank you again for all your messages, your subscribes, your likes, your shares, everything. And I want to start off with a cool little snippet that was sent to me by all of you guys, and it's very, very cool, very funny. If you don't follow the Olympia TV on YouTube, you can go follow them right now. They have a show on there hosted by Tarek El Gunti, which is Tamer El Gunti's brother. He's also an Olympia judge. He's from Brazil. He does the muscle contest in California and the West Coast. And they do a show there, very similar setup as the shows I did in RX Muscle called Muscle in the Morning, for those of you that know. And apparently the show came out yesterday. And Tarek has some words to say about Daisha Johnson. So let's hear him out.
I have ever judged. And if you look at her waist in ratio with her hips, it's something that you have never seen before. We're talking about Flex Wheeler type of genetics. Daisha Johnson can be dangerous in the Mr. Olympia.
Very interesting words indeed from Tarek El Gunti. It's very funny because my video came in Monday and I had some words to say about Daisha Johnson. World. Okay, tiny waist, big quads, great calves, and great quads and like everything. She has like the whole, like she's like weird. Flex Wheeler comes to mind. It's like her proportions are crazy. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. My words are very much alike what Tarek said 2 days after. Very, very cool. And I said, maybe it's time for me to go back to the judging table because, good minds think alike, right? No, but I'm playing. I'm not counting on going as a judge anytime soon. And just funny that you guys send me all this information. And hey, who knew? It's one of those things that people understand certain body types and they compare. It's probably, just some coincidence. So let's leave it at that. The other topic I want to talk to you guys about is the FITBODY Confusion. Because if you don't know, FITBODY Fusion is a big, humongous team in the NPC IFBB Pro League. And, Jamie Lee Bernard is, she's at FBB Pro, but she has an amount of coaches, an amount of people that work for her, and you see them at the shows with their blue t-shirts, blue tank tops. They have a lot of people in their teams. And I'm showing you right now, they do all sorts of promotions on their page. When a competitor in the NPC wins a show, they, overall, congratulations. They're very good at their social media at promoting their athletes and their competitors. Now, I woke up the other day and you guys swarmed me. It was like 87 messages, I believe, about a certain post that was posted on the FITBODY Fusion page about Angela White. And the post was taken down and it went back up. And I had to rebuttal somehow, some way, because the post was, congratulating her for her second place win, second place finish at the Southern California Championships. But what happened was that in the original post, she's saying that, that Angela was a wellness standard. And, that definitely struck a chord with me because it was my duty to let people know that that wasn't true, that wasn't correct. I knew it wasn't Angela. I knew it wasn't her. It was somebody that, works for their social media and they just posted that. I talked to Angela. She's super nice, super cool. She understands where it is coming from. And the post has been put up. And now it says, this was Angela's second pro wellness show. She's growing into the division and will continue to grow as a vegan athlete. So, what I had to say is, I showed examples in my story that you can't really, unless you're in the top 5 Olympia or top 4 Arnold, in America, worldwide, in the NPC FIBODY Pro League, you can't really label somebody as a standard unless you are up to that level, okay? Because there's girls that are coming up in the sport and they will read that and they will want to aspire to be that. And while Angela has grown, she was a bikini competitor and she's grown into the class, she still has ways to go. She still has ways to go. I gave her my critique because I wanted to see her doing better. Athletes can always get better. But I know that this wasn't a jab personally at her, and she knows that. I told her personally. And the way I critique people is because I want them to do better. And I want them to excel at their very best. But coming from a show that she placed last and coming then and placing second and then doing this big post and saying that the wellness standard, blah, 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 blah. No, that's where I come in. That's when you guys send me this information and I have to, rebuttal. And this has nothing to do with the expertise of Fit Body Fusion or Jamie DeBernard or older people. I'm sure they have great coaches and great stuff. It's just, playing with words in that sense in the wellness class, that's my class. So I have to defend it somehow. So I put on there Isa Pereira, I put on there Ryan Fogal, I put up there Franciele Matos, which is world champ. Those are standards that you want to look for. I knew knowing this as an original OG wellness back in the day guy, I knew that once it crossed over America, things would change a little bit here and there. But I'm happy right now to the places that it's been going to. Again, I feel like I say this every podcast, but it's going to take time, 1 or 2 more years in order to get a certain specific look. Look all the time it took for men's physique, and it's still evolving. So congratulations again to Amanda. She is a vegan athlete, believe it or not. And if she could make this as a vegan athlete and create these types of gains, then who knows? The world is at your disposal if you're a vegan athlete and you can make some gains. She should keep making gains because in reality, she needs to work on size and more muscle maturity. That's my rant on the Fit Body Fusion / confusion. No hate, no bad blood, no nothing. It's just things that I have to talk about. And now going to the Puerto Rico Pro preview. I have my Puerto Rico shirt, Puerto Rico by Nike. This is like exclusive shirt. Not a lot of people have it, but I have it. And I got some news for you guys. Speaking of the Puerto Rico Pro, this is real because last year the Puerto Rico Pro Show was held in Bahamas because of all the world restrictions. A little bit of history before I start doing this. I have a picture that I'm going to put on screen, and it's me, J.M. Mannion, Jim Mannion, and none other than the people's champ, The Rock. This was in Pittsburgh, August 29th, 2014. When you see this picture, we were all in that same backstage room, and I was right there next to Jim Manning, and I was pushing because JM told me, I like wellness, just talk to my dad. And I'm there trying to push the class and to push a show for Puerto Rico because all I wanted was an NPC show because I know there was many competitors in Puerto Rico that we didn't have the NPC. We didn't have the IFBB Pro League. And Jim Mannion was pretty receptive to it, and he told me I think I have a guy. I think I have a guy. Don't worry, Johnny. I think I have a guy that's going to take, the NPC and FPB Pro League to the next level in Puerto Rico. And he didn't tell me who. But eventually we all found out it was none other than Tim Gardner, promoter extraordinaire based out of Tampa, Florida. He does the Tampa Pro, Chicago Pro, among many other shows. And it's been a success. Not only Tim Gardner has brought in the NPC and FIB Pro League to Puerto Rico, but he's achieved something that it was non-imaginable for the island. He's brought in a show, an Olympia qualifier, and a show that's given away 9 pro cards for the Caribbean, Latin America, Europe, Asia, basically worldwide except for the United States of America. The reason he's not, it's supposed to be like a World Caribbean Championships, right? So kind of like what happens in North Americans when people from Canada and Mexico can go and compete to the show. Well, this is a show strictly for Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, all the Brazilians, Colombians, Venezuela, Latin America, Europe, Spain, Amsterdam, anywhere in the world, China. There's people competing from China. And it's held in the Caribe Hilton, right next to the beach, 3-day show. Amazing. I remember emailing Tim Gardner the actual rules for the wellness class back in the day and explaining to him how the show, how the girls are supposed to look, how the girls are supposed to pose on stage. It's an email going back and forth with him, basically showing him the blueprint of wellness. And what ended up happening was, like, little by little, we started doing model searches in Puerto Rico, so Puerto Rico model wellness model search. And that's kind of how the idea kept rolling and rolling. And that was all the way back in 2014. Now we're here in 2022. And I can't be more than happy that this show is going to be happening in our island. And we're going to have wellness. And it's going to be legit. It's going to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I'm really excited, as you can say. But yeah, we can go over the history in another time. But first things first, Victoria Puentes is officially MIA. We don't know absolutely nothing. She is not on the list. I tried to reach her. I can't reach her. I haven't seen anything else on her stories. She is not on the list. Her coach told me that, he can't get a hold of her. And that's a little bit worrisome. Okay. Victoria, in my opinion, was, top 2, top 3 for Puerto Rico. This is the show that she was aiming for, no matter what she placed in the last show as 6th place. We knew she wasn't going to be winning that show, but she had enough time to fix it. Although I think, her problem is more muscle maturity. From the front, you can tell the quads are there. From the back, there's really nothing happening. So I hope that she does the show. She is not on the list. This is the updated list at the moment. And she is not on the show. She is not on the show. And I don't know. It will be sad not to see her, because I really thought she was going to do this show. We have 3 Puerto Ricans doing the show, which I'm going to talk to real quick. We have Normari Fonseca, which you saw her in Toronto Super Show. Again, great glutes. She is the girl that I talked about that she didn't smile on stage. She's the girl that needed to smile a little bit more. And even her coach, which is a figure pro, she didn't smile either. I hope her posing got better. I hope she smiles a little bit on stage. And, her only issue is really the width, the girth of the quads and the hams from the side and the quarter turn. From the back, she's very powerful, Her glutes can get really, really hard. Then we had Josimar Rosado, which she won last year in Puerto Rico, in the NPC Puerto Rico, and she qualified for the Nationals, traveled to Florida, and eventually won her pro card at the Nationals. When I saw her in Puerto Rico, I critiqued her hard because while she looked good, she looked very undersized. But what happened is when she came over to the States and did the Nationals, she was pretty much on par with everybody, and she was a little bit bigger. So it was weird. That's why when you're in a lineup, then you can either be the smallest one or the biggest one compared to the 4 or 5 people the judges will let you know where you're gonna go. But Josimar came in and she did pretty darn good. I haven't seen her. This is the one thing with Puerto Ricans, at least with all these three girls, Puerto Ricans, they don't show update pictures. Not even to me, which I am the Puerto Rican guy. No, not even. I don't know if it's an island thing. I don't know if they don't want to show their body because the people in the island are gonna go crazy and they're gonna do a bad juju on them or whatever. But these girls don't show anything. They just wait till the very last second and they just go up there. And very, very weird. I hope she's gained some muscle and I hope her shape and structure has gotten better. And I hope that she smiles on stage as well. We have the little Puerto Rican tank, Alejandra La Fonseca. Alejandra is very, very famous because even before there was a wellness in Puerto Rico, she was, making her rounds around the world with her legs because she was a dancer. And I told her straight up, I'm like, if one day this happens, you have to be in this class. And she already made it. She competed with Julia Renee, so she already knows what's going to happen here. And she looks great. Her quads are insane. She's a little tank. She's 4 foot nothing. I don't know. But her quads are amazing. Her problem was her glutes needed to catch up to her quads. Her quads are it's like a Branch Warren type of quad that it makes her glutes look very, very small. I'm not concerned on her posing. I know her posing is really good. It's just one of those things that she has to provide when she goes in there in that stage. Already, as in the quads and calves, she's up to par with everybody. Everybody. It's just when she turns to the back and maybe from those quarter turns to see if that roundness in the glutes are already in touch with what we think is going to happen when she comes over, because we haven't seen her in a long time. And believe it or not, I didn't know she was going to do the show. This was kind of like, you know what? I have to do the show. I'm in my hometown, I'm in my backyard. I'm going to have people here. So, hey, why the hell not? Then we have Shayla Martins, of course, the freaky alien. I call her the freaky alien, not because there's something bad. On the contrary, Shayla's like Dexter Jackson. She can eat a pizza and a burger and still look shredded. Oh my God. I don't know what, her coach, Brian, and herself. I don't know what kind of concoction they're going to come up with, because Shayla just needs to be a tad softer. It's almost like she has to pull back a little bit. And she looks amazing. She looks amazing. It's one of those things that you have to compare her. And I'm sure we're going to have a rematch with her and Giselle Machado, which obviously at the moment she is the favorite going into Puerto Rico. And we already saw Giselle and her updates, and we already saw that Giselle is way harder. And we already saw that she's already on point to the Giselle Machado we were expecting in Miami, which we didn't get. In Miami, we got a softer, more water-ish look, and she still won the show. So she is the heavy favorite, but there is a dark horse with Jasmine Payne coming up here, and you already know, again, Jasmine Payne is another girl that I keep bringing on in the podcast because she keeps doing show after show, and she does keep getting better. Some people are genetically gifted that way. Her glutes from the back are beyond incredible. So, don't sleep on her, because, I don't want to make any super solid prediction, but between Giselle, Shayla, and Jasmine, oh boy, that could be a really, really interesting top three. And last but not least, we thought we were going to have a pro debut with Victoria Puentes doing Puerto Rico, but she did the other show instead. And now we have the the pro debut of none other than Julia Renee from Austin, Texas. Finally, Julia Renee is huge. She has so many fans, men and women, that follow her. She's great on social media. She's great marketing wise. Very beautiful girl. Great videos, great pictures. She had an issue, I want to say 6 weeks ago, where she changed coaches. At the moment, I don't think she's said who's coaching her. At the moment, I don't know what's happening in her camp. What I do know is that, she just posted a video not long ago, black and white, so you could try to guess her suit for the Puerto Rico show. If this video is new, which I hope is not, she still looks not in shape, which has always been her thing. She needs to come in shape. She has a beautiful structure and a beautiful physique and a beautiful walkthrough, the whole 9 yards. And when you put it all together, you would need to have some type of muscle conditioning, especially from the back, glutes and hams. Very important. I would add Julia up there just because. But maybe Julia is taking a book out of the Johnny Styles handbook, which maybe she's posting this video, which probably would be, I don't know, 5 weeks from ago. And she's tricking you and tricking the competitors that she looks this way. And then when she goes in Puerto Rico, she's diced and ready to go. That could be happening too. I haven't seen anything brand new. Since I saw this video, I'm thinking that this is the Julia Renee that I'm seeing like from now. But who knows? Who knows in reality what's going to happen at the Puerto Rico show? The show is not going to be on pay-per-view. I don't know why. Next time, Tim Gardner, you can call me. You know me. You got my number. I could have live streamed this for the entire world to see. I have the equipment. You know that. But at the moment, no pay-per-view. And I know Tampa Pro has pay-per-view and Chicago Pro has pay-per-view. So you have to keep it locked. I'll find ways to keep you guys updated. I'll find ways to give the 5-star ratings, which is right now pinned on the top if you haven't seen it in Instagram. If I give you a 5, oh my God. If I give you a 1, I don't even know what you're doing on stage. But I'll bring the 5-star rating system back for the entire Puerto Rico show. And yeah, that's pretty much it. A very, very good, solid lineup. Right now, we're counting down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 girls, which I thought it was going to be like 12 or 13, depending on Victoria and a few others. That again, this is a show that eventually will get bigger and bigger because, again, there's still people in Brazil and Spain that are still having issues with their visa. They're still having issues with their flights. They're still having issues just traveling. Okay. So that's about it. I don't think I have nothing else to say. To Tarek, you know what it is, man. You're judging. I like your thinking of the judging. I like your opinions on it. To Fit Body Fusion, great team. You guys had a little bit of a playing with words there that I had to recover, but it was not Angela White's fault. We are good. No hard feelings. We are good. If you want to know who the wellness standard is or how to look a certain way to achieve the look that is presentable for the class, you guys can follow the Wellness Observer Live, which I strictly put people that, will guide you to what you should look like or should aspire to look like. If, you're not there, maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you haven't developed enough for my own judgment, to put you up there. In the stories is one thing because I like to promote people coming up. I call the NXT people. I like to call them up and, work on that because people need exposure as well. But if I do a post on you, it's because you deserve to be up there and you deserve it. From the IFBB pros on the Olympia all the way down to amateurs who've done 1 or 2 shows. I've posted girls, believe it or not, that have only done 2 shows and they look that damn good. For the people following the Puerto Rico Pro Show, it's going to be an amazing show. There's 5, 6, 7 pages of just names and names of people that are doing the show. Open Bodybuilding 212. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. And of course, we're going to have the Wellness Girls up there, and you cannot miss it. This has been Johnny Styles, the Godfather of Wellness. Thank you so much for being here. Subscribe, share, Thank you very much for listening. If you're listening on Apple iTunes, if you're watching this on Spotify, thank you, because it's been working. I love you guys. Thank you so much. This has been the Johnny Styles, the Godfather of Wellness, the Johnny Styles. You guys, I'm so excited about the Puerto Rico show that I can't even like talk correctly. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. Let's do this.